Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. Okay guys, today we are back in Oasis Springs and this time we are traveling to Greece to build a house called the Santorini Villa. Okay guys, this was a really fun build. I had so much fun building the Italian Tuscan vineyard a couple of weeks ago. So this build is kind of like a sister companion piece to that one. So there's definitely a lot of similarities. As you guys can see, the house is very complicated. The shape of the floor plan, it's kind of a little bit difficult to work around, and you guys can see me struggle, especially with like the interiors and all the layout and stuff. But yeah, we're in Oasis Springs. I felt like this was the most appropriate place to build a Greek style house. So yes, Santorini is one of those places that you will instantly recognize the second you see it in postcards. It is one of the most stunning places in the world. It has a very unique architecture, and I'm very happy that I was able to capture that in this build. So yes, so pretty much the house is almost entirely white. It also has like some very beautiful like royal blue or like, I don't know, Mediterranean blue accents. And yeah, it's built on this really high foundation level, and I'm gonna be placing some rocks on that later on so that it would actually look like it's built on like a sloping terrain. Okay, I also love how the swimming pool is on an angle as well. I felt like that was really different. So you guys can see me choose a roof color. Typically you would expect to have like a blue roof, but this time I kind of literally had to pull myself back because I didn't want to like overly work things and make things like too overly complicated. So I ended up choosing like a white roof color instead, which is great because I feel like it also still captures the atmosphere that they have in Santorini. And then I threw in some really intensely bright blue pieces and accents in the fences and in the windows. I'll be placing some awnings and like some trellises later on, so you guys will see. So yeah, also another thing that I kind of repeated with my other previous builds that I've done is that there are no, or like there's almost no doors in this house. All of the pretty much transition spaces are archways. There's no doors that separates the inside from the outside. You just have to cross an archway, and that's pretty much it. I've done that build. I've done that technique in the Tuscan build and also my Villa Capra build. So I felt like it was really appropriate to do it in this Villa Santorini as well. So those archways really do make it feel legit Greek. So yeah, and anyway, so one really special thing that I've also done in this build that I've never done before is that I actually placed the main staircase that leads to the second floor on the outside. So as you guys can see, the Sims have to go outside to get downstairs, but it's fine, you know. I mean, who would not want to go outside in this amazing weather? So yeah, you guys would actually notice that if you look at, you know, pictures of Santorini, that the staircases are outside. Okay, so a little bit of technical information. The house has one bedroom and two bathrooms, a kitchen and a living room, and of course terraces all around the house so your Sims can just walk out and enjoy the stunning views of Oasis Springs, I guess. Okay, so finally we are moving on to the interior. So over here you guys can see me initially choose a white wall with like blue lining on the bottom, and then I also chose a matching floor. I will change that later on though, because I felt like it looked too much like a bathroom. So yeah, the furnishing style I went with for this house was a little bit more of an eclectic style, a little bit of a cross between modern and classic. So you guys will see me mix some modern style furniture with like all the brass and all the, you know, stainless steel and all the velvet. You guys will see me mix that in with some traditional woods and some bricks and some stucco. So yeah, okay. So yeah, I really liked how almost all of the interior is white. I really had to pull myself back for this one because initially I was imagining that I would overly design things, because every time you would think of Greece, you would immediately think of the intense bright colors. But if you actually look at the homes, they're very simple. Most of them tend to be white, and then there's just some accents of like blues, sometimes yellows and things like that, but that's pretty much it. So I kind of tried to actually legit did some research on this, and I think I was able to capture it really faithfully the way it looks like it does in Santorini. So yeah, okay. So there you go. I just replaced the wallpaper with some kind of rusticated stucco, I guess, where you guys can kind of see the brick exposed a little bit. I really like that. I think that gives the house a little bit more of a modern feel. And then the flooring, I kept it wood. Once again, I felt like it kind of felt fresh, and yeah, pretty much there are very few colors used. It's mainly white. I threw in a couple of blue pieces over here and there, but that's pretty much it. Of course, you need to have a nice little flat screen TV. This is kind of a great room, and you guys can see that the aesthetic that I kind of went with kind of makes it feel like a hotel, because it's kind of a large room with like very specifically placed furniture, if you guys get what I mean. So I kind of wanted this house to appeal to a younger couple, maybe like recently married, I don't know, maybe like late 20s, early 30s on their honeymoon or something like that, or somebody who went to honeymoon in Santorini and fell in love with the place. So yeah, okay. There we go. And just placing in some nice little details, throwing in some splashes of blue here and there. I did place some blue curtains initially, but I ended up removing them because I felt like we didn't need them necessarily. Okay, so yeah. And then this time we are working on the rest of the house. Also, another really interesting thing is that pretty much throughout the rest of the house, I used just one wallpaper and one flooring style. Like, seriously, can you guys believe it? I've also used that technique in my Tuscan vineyard, but yeah, that's actually really faithful to the way they have it in the countries where, the building is located. Usually they tend to have just one color all throughout the house. So yeah, I did do my research and it's pretty legit. So I feel like it's really interesting though, because once again, we have a purely white kitchen over here. So yeah, I definitely did try to incorporate a little bit of color, so you guys can see me try to experiment a little bit with some blue appliances, but it didn't work out. I felt like the blue colors that were available didn't match the Grecian blue. That is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as Grecian blue though? Because if I recall correctly, the Greek flag only has two colors, white and blue, and it's very hard actually, especially if you don't have like creative style. So yeah, I did have to make it work. So there we go. And once again, adding in a bunch of clutter. You guys did kind of tell me to kind of clutter things up a little bit more. But yeah, I did have to restrain myself though for this one, because I didn't want to like overly design things. Just the right mix of homey slash kind of resort-ish. Because if you go to a resort, you would see things that are like super prim and proper and super put together. And I kind of wanted to maintain that feel, but also add a little bit of clutter items to make it feel like a popular destination. So yeah, I will place a table in the middle of the kitchen just to fill in the space. And yeah, just to kind of like show that this is like a place to prepare meals and stuff. It's really fun. And then once again, I'm trying to experiment with some clutter items, but I'm really happy with how it turned out, because I think it really helps to have not that many clutter items around, because you guys get to see the walls exposed as they are, and they look very beautiful. Like the walls are artworks in themselves. Like the texture of the stucco is so palpable. Like I can literally just feel it in my fingers. Like I feel like running through my fingers, and I don't know, it just looks really amazing. And yeah, so instead of like throwing in like a million different pieces of furniture to kind of like fill in the space, what I did is that I just threw in some really interesting paintings on the walls as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have. All the paintings have a white frame as well. Once again, keeping in with my initial design ideas to keep an almost entirely white build and incorporate a couple of touches of blue here and there. So yeah, right now we're working on the guest bathroom on the ground floor, and you guys will also see me do this quite a lot of times, is that there's a lot of really interesting hallways around. So you guys can see that that small little room originally was supposed to be like a laundry area, but it didn't work out. I couldn't find any laundry appliances and stuff, so I just made it like a hallway that led to the outside. If you look at Greek architecture, especially like in Santorini, you would see like, it's very cavernous, you know, it's very cave-like. There's a lot of archways, there's the vault on the ceiling, and I don't know, there's just lots of small little spaces, like nooks and crannies that you need to maneuver, and that's why there's like a lot of hallways and stuff, because I felt like that really spoke genuinely as to the way they do it in Greece. Okay. And yeah, I also used that one fence over there for the bathrooms, and I really, really like it. I love using that fence in bathrooms. I feel like it makes for a great divider. Okay, so this little hallway once again over here is actually like, how should I say it? I guess it's a little bit more of a study area. You guys just saw me there kind of experiment with some accent colors for the walls, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm so happy with how the walls turned out as they are. I didn't bother adding in some accent colors because I didn't feel like we needed it. So anyway, this hallway area is going to be like a study place. So there's a bookshelf. There's also going to be like a computer table as well. And yeah, it's just a nice little thing to add to the space to kind of make it feel a little bit more functional, as opposed to being just an empty space over there. So yeah, and throwing in some computers and of course some clutter items as well. I love using that hydrangea plants that came with cool kitchen stuff. That was really, really fun, and it's a gorgeous item as well. Okay. And yeah, I feel like the palm trees definitely add like that Mediterranean vibe, which was quite fun. And also you guys will see me kind of incorporate some sunflower details as well with the paintings. I actually think that the sunflower only is in the painting. I'm not sure. And then I'm going to throw in like a nice little white bench over there, and just to make things match a little bit better, I replaced some of the chairs that looked a little bit too modern for the style. I replaced them with like white chairs with like these wrought iron accents and stuff. Very, very stunning, if I do say so myself. Okay, and you guys will see me once in a while throw in that one lamp that I believe came with, was it Perfect Patio? I think it was Perfect Patio. I love that lamp because it gives like a little bit more of diversity when it comes to the lighting, because that lamp has like a cool like fire type of color, which I love. And okay, right now we're working on the one bedroom in the house, and I was able to use that Picasso bed that I absolutely in love with. Starry Night by Pablo Picasso, and yeah, an icon of Impressionism. Very, very stunning piece. So yeah, once again, it's very open. You guys will see that this bedroom has archways on 3 sides, plus it has a window behind the bed. So it's really, really open. You know, if you're spending a honeymoon here, you can literally just walk out, watch the sunset with your lover, overlooking the pool. It's what could be more romantic? Okay. So I think it turned out really, really nicely, and I'm obsessed. I love it. So yes, once again, keeping in with the white accents, just to keep things more consistent. I love how the bed has like a wooden frame though. I really, really like it. And then, yeah, you guys will also notice me place some paintings on the ground, which is quite interesting. I feel like that's a little bit more of a casual way to display paintings, especially in casual places like the bedroom or the living room. You know, you want the paintings to look like, oh, I think every artist that displays paintings that way have like an idea that, okay, you know, I'm gonna put it on the floor to make it look like really bohemian and really classy like that. Okay. And there's also a grill over here outside. I felt like that was a nice little touch to kind of bring some activity to the patio area. And right now we're finally working on one of my favorite innovations, I guess, that I've done for the first time in this build, and that is to make like a vine, I guess, or like these crawling things. I love these. These are the highlight of this build for sure. You guys will see in Greek architecture and like in Greek buildings, actually like anywhere in the Mediterranean, if you look at their architecture, they have like lots of crawling vines and stuff. I don't know what to call that in particular, but they have that. And in Greece, it's very popular to have like bougainvillea. I'm not so sure how you guys say it in English. I'm pretty sure it's bougainvillea, right? Bougainvillea plant. I'm not sure. I might have to look it up, but yeah, I know that in Greece they have lots of bougainvillea plants, but I couldn't find any because bougainvillea doesn't come in orange. It only comes in like a pink, red, and white and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of went really interesting with the shape of this vine in particular, because I wanted to look like it was hanging from, you know, from the walls and from the trellis. That's why it made it look like it was looping, because I felt like it was hanging, you know, it was fighting gravity and things like that, and it looked really romantic. For some reason, it reminds me a lot of like Sleeping Beauty, probably because of the vine and stuff. I don't know where I saw this technique from first. I'm pretty sure it might be from Deligrasty. But yeah, I did add some white plants as well, just as accents and stuff, because I felt like the orange was a little bit monotonous. I kind of know how these vines work. When I was younger, I used to live in like a rural area, and right next door to our house was my aunt's place and my uncle's place, and they had a bougainvillea of their own, which was so stunning. It was so huge. It climbed over their fence. I loved how it looked, and it bore many different colored flowers actually from just one plant. You know, it had like white clusters of flowers and pink clusters. I think that looked really gorgeous, and I don't know, I think this vine in particular looked amazing. I love it so much, and you guys definitely are probably gonna love it as well, because it's the first time that I've done it, and I think it turned out really well. You know, I guess I can say this as like an architect, you know, someone who has actually went to school to study art and stuff. I think the vine looked very sculptural, actually. It has like a lot of dimension, lots of 3D effects, lots of positive and negative space, which I really liked. So yeah, it looked really architectural. So I don't know, I think I should definitely be proud of that because it looked really stunning. Okay. And then working on the rest of the rooms for the second floor, this time we're adding in another painting actually, and this time it's kind of like a jazz themed painting, which I enlarged to kind of fill in the space. I love putting like the fluorescent bulb underneath the paintings because I feel like it kind of, one, brings light to the space, and two, it kind of brings attention to the painting as well. Okay. So I didn't know what to do with this hallway, so I ended up just putting in like a china cabinet and plopping in some chairs, you know, if you have guests waiting and you don't want them to enter the bedroom or something. And yeah, this is the master bathroom. I noticed that the space was too big, so I will eventually split that in half. There you go. And yeah, the first half of it has like the place where you have like the lavatory and stuff, and then the rest of it is like the main bathroom event with the bathtub and the toilet and all that good stuff. Really, really fun. And once again, I use that one fence, which I love. So there you go. That looks really nice. And I was able to find a nice little laundry basket as well, which was quite fun, if I do say so myself. I feel like putting in a bunch of clutter in the toilets kind of add a lot of personality, because bathrooms are a huge deal to people. Let's be real. I mean, like, I personally I'm not that nitpicky when it comes to toilets. Like, I really don't care. I'm not high maintenance, but my brother, throwing shade at my brother hates it when the bathroom floors are wet. So whatever. Yeah, once again, just adding in a bunch of clutter. By the way, I love these rugs. First of all, because PewDiePie has the same rug. Yes, if you guys watch PewDiePie's vlog, you guys will know that he kind of has the same rug as that. But I also love how modern it is, but it has like this very, very faint pattern because of the colors that I chose for it. I chose just the white one, so you really couldn't see the pattern on it. But it has like a really faint pattern that kind of reminds me a lot of Grease as well, okay? So over here, I had a lot of trouble figuring out how to decorate this space in particular. So even though I wasn't planning it initially, I ended up extending the vine to cover this one wall over here, because this wall really didn't have anything. So yeah, I had to extend the vine. I wasn't originally planning that, but I think it actually turned out for the better, even though it took me much longer, because, you know, I had to fill in the space, and that's a lot of space. Once again, trying to be sculptural with the vine, you know, trying to make it look natural and kind of making it look like it just came out of somewhere, you know? So yeah. I love using this plant in particular, because if you guys can see, it doesn't have like a flat, base, unlike many other flowers that we have available. It doesn't have like a flat base. So, it kind of looks like it's meant to be a vine. That's also one of the reasons why I chose this plant in particular. So yeah. And by the way, all this vine mumbo jumbo looks really good when you're actually playing the game. You can see some of the vine and some of it's hidden since it's placed on different levels. It looks really great and it looks really gorgeous, if I do say so. Once again, I'm tooting my own horn here, but I really, really like how the vines look. And then over here, I'm just trying to organize the trellis since it looks really full for me. So I was trying to organize it a little bit more, make it look like a little bit more natural, I guess. Okay, so at this point, pretty much most of the interior is finished. So all we need to do is add in a bunch of clutter items on the outside, as well as some outdoor furniture, and of course, some rocks that really are kind of an icon of the Greek landscape. You know, the Greek islands are pretty rocky and pretty coastal as well. So I kind of wanted to incorporate that in this build, but not overwhelm it, because I think in the end, it's all about all the different details coming together. So there are a couple of rocks, but nothing too crazy. There we go. So just trying to make them fit in without being seen from the inside. And I also had a great idea of placing these kind of deserty plant. I'm not so sure what it's called, but I had a great idea of like lifting them up with the Control 9 thing that you can do, but unfortunately the game doesn't let me keep it. I'm pretty sure it's because it's a bush, and the game only lets me keep like the flowers if I raise them up. So unfortunately, if you guys download this house, those plants on top of the rocks will actually revert back to ground level. So yeah, by the way, I highly suggest you guys turn on the move objects cheat when you download this house. Just hit Ctrl-Shift-C, enter move objects when you download this house, so that all the items that were placed using the move object sheet will be visible, okay? And then finally adding in some terrain paints. I tried to fill up all the all the spaces, like all the spaces that have sand in them. I tried to fill them up with some grass here, as you guys can see, but initially I didn't like it, but off camera I will actually fill it up with some grass, because I did realize that it looked pretty incomplete. So you guys will see later in my video overview walkthrough that it does have some grass in it, and of course I just did some minimal landscaping as well with that one deserty plant, because, you know, Greece is pretty arid, pretty Mediterranean. There's not that many plants growing around. So yeah. And pretty much the final touch is adding in a couple of outdoor furniture that came with perfect patio. And yeah, just adding in a bunch of really awesome things to kind of like, you know, complete the look and make this an awesome functioning build. I always save this for the last, but yeah, pretty much to cap up the speed build part of this video, we're adding in some outdoor lights so that your Sims can enjoy this house 24/7. Okay, so having said that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut into the floor plans so you guys can see both stories of the house right here. All right, there's only one bedroom and 2 bathrooms once again, but it looks really, really good. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the speed build. That's going to be it for the commentary part of this video. Once again, please don't forget to hit that like, favorite, and subscribe button, because it really does help out the channel a lot. Y'all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.